What is shaking with fellow left-handed golfer Bubba Watson? Let me button up my top button in honor of Bubba before we get started. All right. Is Bubba on the PGA Tour? Nope. Is Bubba playing on LIV Golf? Nope. Well, kinda. Hey, DT here with Creaser Golf. We're going to break everything down for you related to Bubba Watson and LIV Golf and what's going on with him. Helpful timestamps in the description below. Remember to subscribe and smash the like button for me. Let's get into it. So what is going on with Bubba Watson? Earlier in 2022, he played at the PGA Championship where he did quite well actually with a T30 finish. And at the time, that jumped Bubba in the official World Golf rankings all the way up to 69 in the world. However, shortly after the tournament, Bubba dropped some big news that has also coincided with a big drop in his official World Golf rankings to now currently 131st in the world. Bubba revealed in May that he actually had a torn meniscus. And after congratulating Justin Thomas on his PGA Championship win, he announced that he was going to be taking some time off and having meniscus surgery. Bubba shared with his fans that he was going to have meniscus preservation surgery on his knee, and he hoped to be back soon.
Hey guys, Bubba Watson here. Having surgery this week, meniscus preservation surgery. We're gonna save as much of the meniscus as possible so I can continue to play the rest of my life, play the game of golf that I love, but I'll give you updates throughout the time. Be on crutches for about 8 or 12 weeks. Wish me luck. You're welcome.
After Bubba shared that news with his fan base in early June, the rumors really started to fly with a Dennis Quaid narrated LIV Golf promo trailer that dropped later in June and that featured, quietly, Bubba Watson.
Evolution. It's said to be the gradual development from something simple to something more complex. It's the ability to change, to adapt, to acknowledge imperfections, and emerge stronger. The evolution of the game we love begins today. Golf is a game rooted in centuries of history, heroes, and tradition. And while we revere the game's celebrated past, our eyes are fixed on the future. Because we see a vibrant game, full of color, played all around the world. A game of high fives, fist pumps, and flying tees. A game of constant action and electrifying pace. Faces that are both familiar and fresh. We see a game, rather a sport, with seasons and teams to cheer for and rivals to root against, where every moment matters. Evolution can be uncomfortable, but we love this crazy game enough to try. So join us, because the future we see is bright. The future of golf is here.
Fast forward another month and now we're in late July, and Bubba Watson drops some major news on the golf industry, stating publicly that he is joining LIV Golf. Bubba Watson jumps onto the LIV Golf live stream of the event happening at the time to make the official announcement with the world and share some of his thoughts about why he did join LIV.
Holes to play, everybody, but we've got some breaking news. The rumors were circling wildly over the past few weeks, and we can confirm that they are true. Bubba Watson is joining LIV Golf, and he joins us live from home now. Bubba, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I had my record today. I had 85% degrees on my knee bent. So my knee is starting to bend now, so I'm starting to walk around the house a little more.
Oh, that's great news. We know you're going to join us in some capacity throughout the rest of this season, but we're not going to see you actually play until next year. What was the extent of the injury then, Bubba?
It was meniscus repair, meniscus preservation surgery is what it's called. We saved 75% of it, so I should be 100% in the next couple months. I'm good now. It's just now getting the leg to loosen up so I can hit the shots, full bore. I got to be able to outdrive Brooks Koepka and DeChambeau there.
Well, Bubba, my wife, the love of my life, has just had her left knee done, and she's kicking my ass with it already. How long do you think it's going to take you to get back?
I want to be 100%. I wrote a book about my mental things, but I want to be 100%. I want to be able to get full action on the leg. So it's up to me. The doctors are giving me the go. It's up to me to make that push. So I'm looking at middle of October is where I'll really start hitting the ball and get ready.
Left or right knee?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a tough
right
question.
Knee. Yeah, I had to think about it.
Yeah.
Bubba, you've been watching from home, LIV Golf so far in our third event. What have you made of it? And what have you been hearing from your fellow pros?
So it's cliche, but I love growing the game of golf. I sponsor junior tournaments. I've sponsored college tournaments. I've done a lot of things. And for my son to sit down and watch golf and watch the team, that's all he's focused on. He knows the fireballs. He knows the aces. He knows the smashers. I mean, he knows them. And so for him to do that the first two events, I realized that there is something here. We all love the franchise atmosphere. The players come and go, but that franchise stays the same, and that logo will stay the same. I love the New York Yankees. It doesn't matter who's playing or how good they are. I still love the Yankees. And so that's what my kid sees. He's 10 years old, and so I knew that they had a great product here, and I'm so thankful I'm going to be a part of it and growing the game.
Bubba, I know you like the team aspect as well. You volunteered as a helper, an unofficial assistant captain at last year's Solheim Cup in Toledo, and you were a big part of that team, and you enjoyed it. Angie was there as well. Now, many of the players say the wives are the ones who really like it when their husbands make the decision to join LIV Golf because they just seem a little bit happier. How's Angie? I know she's doing some coaching in a high school there locally in the Pensacola area. How's she looking forward to you being a part of this and you being a happier Bubba Watson?
Yeah, for her, there was a lot of moving parts in this, and she's going to start coaching the women's high school team here in town in Pensacola at East Hill Christian Academy. And so for us, it was how do we get the timing right? But she loves helping. She loves helping young people. And for me, I feel like I have a little bit of knowledge, very little, but I can give that to someone. And when I think about the team atmosphere, in 2016 at the Ryder Cup, I was 7th in the world, but I was assistant captain, and that was fun for me. I enjoyed it more than playing golf itself. And so for me to give some knowledge, to give encouragement, to help the team grow, help the team get better, and try to win tournaments, but also try to grow the game on the back end. When you're talking about junior camps and things like that that our teams can do together, it's a no-brainer. And so my wife loved it. She loved the idea. We prayed about it. We came to the decision, and here we are talking to you guys.
You love the team aspect of it and growing the game of golf. When you talk to people that are involved in LIV Golf already, what are the other aspects of it that they are impressed with, that they're enjoying so far?
I think we're all fans of sport, right? I mean, that's why we play a sport. And so when you look at everybody's playing around the same time, so the weather, atmosphere, the quickness of the pro-ams, the quickness of the round of golf. We know what time we're teeing off. You can eat breakfast with your team. You can talk about things. You can interject ideas of how to play better in your round of golf that day. Everybody's enjoying it. It's finally, you're having people on your team. It's not an individual sport anymore where you are just out there trying to beat balls and figure out how to play the game by yourself. You have people you can bump ideas off of. And then with the caddies so involved with LIV Golf, it's just another atmosphere, another thing that we didn't have, and now we're bringing it to the light. And it's I've heard nothing but great things. Everybody that I've talked to on the tour said it's amazing. They were so excited that they've done it.
Great stuff, Bubba. Thanks for joining us. Good luck continuing to bend that knee a little further each week, and we will see you in Boston.
Yeah, get well soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. See y'all.
If you're like me and you saw Bubba Watson alongside Harold Varner III in a Boston LIV Golf event press conference and weren't really up to speed on all of the meniscus surgery and the background from that perspective, you might have been a little perplexed as to why he was doing a press conference at a LIV Golf event, but actually not playing in a LIV Golf event, and surprisingly named captain of one of the franchises of LIV Golf. The press conference with Harold Varner III was quite epic. A lot of good back and forth with the media at that particular press conference. Very interesting that Bubba had a conversation with his children about possibly not going back to Augusta. Here's a full look at that press conference.
I'm going to sit over here so I can straighten my leg out.
Left side, strong side.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the LIV Golf Invitational Boston 10 a.m. press conference. We are joined today by two new LIV Golf signees, Bubba Watson and Harold Varner III, both on Team Niblicks. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Mom.
So, Bubba, you are our very first non-playing captain because of a knee injury. So I think, first of all, can you let everybody know how the knee rehab is going and when you anticipate to get back on the course?
Yes, for sure. Knee is doing well. It's been 3 months now. Trying to get it to bend completely. Working through rehab. After all of this, I got rehab today.
Age is something, isn't it?
What?
Somebody say something about how old you were?
So yeah, we're working through the, and hopefully, you know, my timetable would be middle of October, hitting balls. I got my wedge and my putter here today, or this week, so I'm going to go chipping around with some of my teammates. And doing the captaincy. The captaincy is a dream come true. Obviously, I'd rather be playing, but, you know, I can't really, it's not, there's an individual tournament going on as well. I think y'all know how this works. There's an individual on a team. And so I can't really say, hey, he hit 8-iron, this putt does this, because there's a real tournament going on. It's not like a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup. So I won't be able to give advice, but I'll be able to cheer them on. You know, I've already had a group text going with my team and told them that I make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches they could ever get. I had practice in 2016 when I was vice captain of the Ryder Cup. And so I told them, I said, if y'all need a peanut butter and jelly, I'm your guy. So nobody asked for one, so I guess that's, maybe they don't trust me, I don't know.
So the PB&J is going to be your secret weapon?
That's it. I'm going to eat them at least. I don't know about them, but.
Awesome. Harold, you have the Harold Varner III Foundation, which does incredible work with youth around the country. You know, LIV has LIV to Give. We have a big CSR platform, and I understand we're going to be working together to, you know, help your foundation. Can you talk a little bit about your foundation and how you hope to partner with LIV moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's well documented. The reason why I'm here is basically because older people basically invested their time into my life, including Bubba. You know, so it's just things like that where have been important to me, and the foundation, we're getting older people around kids that just need direction. I think it's important. I think, yeah, you have your parents, but that's you need someone else in your life to tell you what's right and wrong, so that when your parents aren't there, you know, you're guided in the right direction. And we started a mentorship. We have the Youth on Course in North and South Carolina. It's basically like similar to the program I grew up in, which is it was $100 from June 1st until September 1st. Is probably the most incredible thing compared to what I've spent $100 on. So yeah, basically they told us we couldn't have that program, and I started my foundation. It's been way cooler than any golf shot or golf experience I've ever had, because it's really cool when I walk around town and these kids are like, what are we doing next? And that's why I do what I do. It's just trying to serve other people. That's the most important thing in life. I think you get the most joy out of it, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. We'll open it up to the room. Start with Mike.
That's why I'm captain. I love serving people.
Yeah. You could serve us by playing.
Mike McAllister with LIV Golf. I'm just curious, Harold, when you won in Saudi in February, and sorry, Bubba.
Don't be sorry. Tell him.
Did you guys talk then, or have any inkling that this is how it would end up, or you had any discussions? Obviously, Bubba is captain of your team. Can you kind of just take us through that process?
That would be a hard no. At the time, the biggest thing for me was getting into Augusta, and the world ranking points there gave me the opportunity to play there. It's right down the street from where I grew up. Always wanted to be there. So, no, not at all. I would never have thought how this was going to go. If I could, from the moment that putt went in till right now, I bet you I could make a movie easily. It's been the coolest ride. It's just take it one day at a time, talking to people, learning. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It sucked.
Yeah, for
When
you.
You made that putt or chip, whatever it was.
Oh, it was a putt, baby. It went in, perfect speed. It was awesome. I hope I have another experience like that. But, yeah, it couldn't happen to a better person. Love you.
Joy?
Harold, after you won in Saudi, you said that Bubba was and is a big influence on what you do, on your game, on your life. Has the fact that he joined motivated you to come? Did you guys speak a lot about this? Can you just...
Yeah, I totally understand. Everyone thinks that, but the best thing about Bubba, I can tell them exactly how I feel. I think just because someone encourages you and you don't reply back and say, hey, I really don't like this or I really don't like that, I think there's a big difference in that dynamic, and with Bubba, he obviously guided me in a lot of other things before this, but I just wanted, selfishly, like we play golf, I wanted to look after myself. And when these questions started coming up, I would just bounce them off of Bubba, and obviously some other people in, the Charlotte, Gastonia area. So, yeah, he's been in my ear, but, like, in a good way. You want someone there that cares about me. It's easy to, for me, I think anyone in this world, it's easy to say something to someone and it'd be something where you benefit something. And I think that's what it looks like, but it's been way more than that. I mean, we played together in the QBE, I would say, 4 years ago, and we hit it off. Like, I like the way how he runs his package, and some of the things I want to do, some of the things I don't want to do. So it's best to see what he's doing and what he's really invested in, and pick a couple things here and there, what I like and what I don't like. So yeah, for sure.
And I also wanted to know, has it been a little frustrating that 92-foot putt that you made to win the tournament in Saudi has never been mentioned, even though you have played so well on the telecast and everything? Inside your heart, did that hurt?
It doesn't hurt because no one can take that moment away from me. It doesn't. I don't need a lot of people to talk about it. It was the coolest thing for the closest people around me. The thing that hurts is I've always played golf just because it's golf. Never cared. I mean, literally, some of the places I've been, I couldn't find it on a map. Like, I wouldn't be able to. That's just the truth about it. I get on a plane, have awesome people that take care of us when we go to these tournaments, and I can't hold a grudge because what they don't want to do, what they don't want to say. But I can always sit back and, like, talk smack to the people I love and laugh about it, before we even came in here, I was telling Bubba, how awesome it was. So, no, not really. At first it was like, kind of like, man, I worked my tail off to have a moment like that, but you can't control what someone else doesn't want to talk about, Sometimes you want people to be quiet, so it is what it is.
Jake?
Hey, what's up, boys? Jake Adams here from Country Club Adjacent. This one's for Harold. Do you think that your time on the PGA Tour was similar to being in the sunken place?
The sunken place? Mm-hmm. The sucking place or the sunking?
Sunken place from the movie Get Out.
I haven't watched it, but yeah, sure, I guess. I don't know. I had a great time out there. It was an awesome experience.
All right, well, that's not what the sunken place is.
You can have another great question. What's your next one? Fire away. I know you got a good one.
Hi, Griff Pippen with Country Club. Jason, this question's for Bubba. Congrats on all of your.
Right in my face.
Yeah, congrats on all your success. Since you have an injury right now, do you think there's a chance maybe I could play for you? I'm like a 6 handicap, so I think I could hold up. Maybe I could be like a 4 on a good day.
Well, the last time I saw Harold play golf, he shot like 4 over, so maybe you might.
Yeah, like I'm right around there.
Yeah, so Let's you know what? Come play 9 holes today, and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, I'm
Perfect.
in.
I'm
in.
Taking my spot.
Yeah.
Go another team, get another captain.
Perfect, man. I'm excited to play with you guys. Thank you.
All right, Alex, go ahead. Over there. You're okay.
Nah, they're good. They've already put the mic up. They dropped the mic already.
Harold, refreshingly, you indicated in your post, I think it was on Twitter, that you're doing this for the money. At least it's generational money for you and your family. Is there anything the tour could have done that would have kept you?
I'm not really sure. I feel like I've just talked to everyone. Not really sure the direction the tour's going in, but the biggest thing for me was trying to take care of myself. I really believe in the PGA Tour. It gave me the platform to be here. The thing that gets me is sometimes I feel like you do all this stuff for the tour, and it's like I want to know. I want to be in the know. And right now, sometimes you're not in the know, and sometimes that sucks. But I'm not really sure what they could have done. I've been really close with Jay. I've had some unbelievable conversations with him. But for me, it was for a kid that grew up where I grew up. It was an opportunity for me to just make sure my kid never would be in that situation ever, and that means the world to me.
I know at the U.S. Open we talked about your discussion with Michael about this. Did you talk to him since then about you making the decision?
Yeah, 100%. I talk to that guy regularly, and I would like to keep that conversation between me and him.
And then Bubba, so what was your motivation, since Harold's been pretty clear on his motivation?
Yeah, my motivation is very simple. I love, like he said earlier, I love serving. I love helping people. And when they gave me the opportunity to be part of a franchise, part of a team, part of a captain, it was a no-brainer. I've done quite well on the PGA Tour. I've been able to support my family, generational wealth, and then coming here, obviously, it's more money than we've ever played for, right? $4 million to the winner. So obviously it's about some money too, but there's other things involved in being a part of a team, being able to help people, being able to talk to Harold, young guys or other guys. I'm not going to help them in the golf swing. There's a reason why they're here. They're all good at golf. So being able to help them in life, not only golf-wise, mentally-wise, but also life-wise and where they're going, what they're heading to, what they're investing in, what they're not invested in, how we can help them grow as people. And so for me, in 2016, when I was vice captain at 7th in the world, it opened my eyes of who I really am and what I want to do. And LIV gave me the perfect opportunity to try to help people. So, yeah.
One last thing, Harold. The guys had turned early on. They were unsure of exactly what was going to happen, major-wise, world ranking-wise, PGA Tour-wise. I think it's pretty clear now that the situation is a little different.
100%.
So you jumped into this knowing that you probably, A, may likely never play in a major again. B, you may or may not get world ranking points here again. C, you'll never play on a PGA Tour event again. All those are possible. You were comfortable with all that?
At the start, I was not. But once again, I sat there and I was like, I went to college. I didn't even know what the USAM was. So, golf's never been a way for me to get my name on a trophy. It was a way for me to get out. I played golf so I could go to college. I would not have been able to go to college without playing golf. And then I turned pro because my brain wasn't smart enough to work a 9 to 5 and still make the same amount of money. And the only thing that sucks about golf sometimes is that most of the people that are in golf will never understand it. My kid will never understand it. I'm going to make sure of that. So, yeah, I'm okay with it. It is what it is. I can't hate on what situation I'm in or what situation I'm not in. I can only do what's best for me at the time from experience I've had as a kid. And I'm actually super proud that I made a decision based off of what I believe in. I think it's very easy to get in a situation where you do what everyone else says you should do, and yeah, I think, I don't know, I just sat there. I think it's pretty bad when my wife is like, fuck everybody. Do what you want to do. And I was like, that is so cool. My wife is the most nicest person. She's super oh, I don't know about this. I don't know. And for her to say that meant the world to me. So it was on me, and that's what men do. They provide, protect, and try to do more, like any other job. I don't know. Sometimes it baffles me. I know these places have been around for like ever, but they've never been the reason why I played golf, to be honest.
Hey guys, Ben Volen from the Boston Globe here. 2 quick ones. First of all, if you could both please answer this, just what's your, based off the last question, what's your concern level about being able to play in the majors moving forward?
I think
you're on a roll, man. Go ahead.
Obviously, it's not.
Do we beep out that word that he said earlier, or how does LIV do that? Do they beep that out?
I don't know.
Can't put the toothpaste back in the tube on that one.
Yeah. So for me, that weighed a lot. You know, this is my first year playing in every major, so yeah, it was cool. But like, I think it's way cooler making sure my kid doesn't have to worry about anything. That's about it. And the PGA Tour is great. Like, I think it'd be sick if they let me play here and just get a sponsor's invite to Wells Fargo. That'd be awesome. I love playing at home because I live vicariously through the people that help me. And those people are super proud of me. So it's just a weird dynamic. It's not my calling. But my job's to play golf here.
Sure. Bubba.
Yeah, for me, it's a weird situation, being a Masters champion. I set my kids down, and I told them that their favorite tournament in the world is obviously Travelers Championship, so can't play there, but now Augusta. Right now we can play in it, and I'm hoping, I'm praying that they make the right decisions and past champions and people we can all start playing. And so I told my kids that there is a chance, there is a possibility that we can't go to Augusta. And I told them if they tell me that I can't go being a past champion, then I don't want to be there anyway. So, because that's just a wrong way to look at it. It's the game of golf. We're all trying to be the best players. Going back now, I'm just going to add to it the world ranking. I mean, the best players in the world, the number 2 player in the world is now here. And so if you're going to try to see the best players in the world, then you should have world ranking points, because these are the best players in the world here, just like everywhere else across the world. So they got to have world ranking points to. If you're going to say you're competing against the best, you got to have a world ranking system.
I was also wondering for your guys' reaction. The PGA Tour, Tiger, Rory, they announced a lot of changes coming to the tour, and they seem to be similar to the ones that you guys are doing here on LIV. Just what's your reaction to what they're proposing for the PGA Tour?
Man, great question, because Tiger's been unbelievable to me. I think it's great for everybody, to be honest with you. I think everyone's going to be better off now than they were 2 years ago. And that's the way I've always looked at it. I've always said, what's the best for the whole membership? What's the best for all of golf? And it's a positive. I mean, somebody's about to get paid, that's for sure. I'm serious.
So, yeah, it does look a lot alike. You know, everybody's protecting their own dollar. There's people that are tied in with the PGA Tour. And I'll be dead honest. If they want me to come sit in an air-conditioner room and play virtual golf, I'm in. You know, throw me in there too. I think it's great. You know, again, I don't think that what anybody's proposing, I don't think what LIV has proposed is bad for the game of golf. My son is 10 years old. He's never watched golf. And then he started watching. He knew the aces. Every time that DJ birdied, he was like, look, aces are winning again. So, I mean, my 10-year-old son started watching golf. I mean, we're trying to get the average age down to, like, you know, below 40 that watches golf, and that's what I think LIV is doing, and I think exactly what Tiger and Rory are trying to do. Yeah, it looks a lot alike, but, you know, there's virtual golf. I have a virtual golf at my house, so maybe they'll let me, maybe I'll show them that I can play virtual golf. Maybe they'll let me play with them.
Average age under 40.
Yeah, but, well, average age right now on the Golf Channel is like, what, 65?
I'm just joking. You're old, and while I'm young, I'm going to make fun of you.
But I don't watch golf, so the average age is like 65 on Golf Channel, so we got to get it down. And I think LIV's doing that, because my 10-year-old.
They ain't going to get it down because golf is freaking so expensive. It's why I do what I do. Like, people can't afford to go play golf.
Well, then get your foundation.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to do my job. That's the most. We're working on it.
You need some money? I got some.
All right. Perfect.
I know you'll hit me up.
Correct.
By the way, this man cost me 3 hours yesterday.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Yeah,
I just hoping it wasn't going to be right here. I'm appreciative that you took your 3 hours to come pick me up.
I said, man, I'll come and pick you up, man, in Charlotte. I have to pass somewhat close by there. Storm comes over. I'm scared to death of flying, by the way. Storm comes over. Lightning's popping all around, and we land, and now we had to wait in the airport. 3 hours. I was supposed to land at 8:26, and I landed at 11:05.
I love you. Thank you. I appreciate
you're
you.
welcome.
I said I thank you 100 times while you were like, oh, my gosh.
I hate
And there's
flying.
tra-
I'm
and there's
scared, I'm
traffic.
scared to death.
I mean, geez, it's a plane, man. It's meant to fly through it. Just get in it. You ain't going to control if that thing hits the ground. Let's
He's
go.
not flying with me anymore.
Well, maybe Sunday.
Sunday. Any more? Sorry.
Yep. Mike Sullivan, WBZ News. How would you guys respond to criticism from other players or fans for making the switch or for the funding behind LIV?
So the first part is quite simple, right? The first part is, when people say, "We'll miss you," it's like Harold said, like I didn't die, like we can still be friends, like if some guy goes to a different company, right? I have a car dealership that sells Chevys. If they leave and go to Dodge, I'm not mad. I mean, they're going to better their family or think that's better for them. I'm not upset with them. I text Rory yesterday, say congratulations, great playing. And it was surprising. He actually texted me back. And he asked me how my knee was doing. So it was very cordial. I mean, I love the guy. I mean, he's done a lot for the game of golf, and I'm not mad at him. Hopefully he's not mad at me for leaving. And then what was the second part? Sorry, I got all of it. Well, that's a tough question because there's other investors, and if you look at the stock market, you look at the PGA Tour that just announced the game with Tiger on the cover. The money's everywhere across the stock market. So we're all invested in the same products, the same thing. So I don't see where the funding's coming from. It's not we're all doing it. So it's not like it's.
I think that was pretty good, but I'll answer the fans part. Yeah, it sucks. I just, man, I didn't realize how much people are so into, just because you're on the PGA Tour. And I thought that was very, you didn't pull for me because I was good at golf. You pulled for me because it was ideal for you. And, I like to be liked. I can't sit up here and say I don't, but I like to help people. So yesterday sucked. Who likes to sit there and I purposely read them all. Like everyone says, don't get on social media. That's stupid. I'm not ashamed of being Harold. I'm ashamed that we don't spread love. We don't spread, hey man, I get it. It's not what I would want you to do. I might be disappointed, but I love you for you. Go do your thing. And I thought there'd be more of that. So sometimes I just laugh. And then some of them I kept receipts. Yeah. I want to know.
All right, got time for a couple more. I know Evan's been dying to ask a question.
Cut on the AC. I'm sweating.
Hi, ClaireRogersGolf.com. Harold, you just kind of talked about it a little bit, but the last 24 hours, what has it been like for you?
It sucked. Who likes to be hated? It's terrible. I hate being hated. I'd rather not even be known than be hated. So yeah, it was terrible. I just hate to be hated because you're doing what's best for you. And whenever someone else is doing something that's best for them, I'm like, how can I help? How can I help you make a better decision? Why are you making this decision? That should be more of the language instead of like, well, you didn't do what I want you to do, so I hate you. I'm done. I'm followed. Like, all right, man, you just whatever. Can't win that. So just people are just not right. I'm sitting next to one of them, but he's cooler than the ones I read.
That is true. I wrote a book about it. I got issues. Back here? We got somebody back here? Oh, sorry.
Oh, 100%. I've always been a team guy. It's never been about me. And that's what makes it so cool. Why should it be about me, man? I played team sports growing up. When we were kids, if you worked, everyone chipped in, made things work. Never been about you. So, yeah, I try to tell Bubba that, but he doesn't get it. But now he's not playing, so I don't know what to tell him.
It's not all about me? Dang.
Yeah, for sure. Just the aspect that you can help someone else by just grinding it out. I know when you're playing for yourself, you want to grind it out, but some people don't. if they tell you they were, like I learned from grinding out, there's a moment in every person's career out on that tour where you're like, get me home. I don't care what hole you're on, get me home. I got no chance of playing on Saturday. That's life. But, like, when it's a team aspect, you're going to have to. Like, well, I'm for sure going to hope you do. But if I just find out you're not, I'm definitely going to comment and be like, man, what you doing? Yeah, so I think that's a cool.
Yeah, so if you think about it, if you think about high school golf, your team, college golf, your team, the only one that didn't have that is professional golf. And so now that brought it to the table, LIV Golf brought it to the table, it's a team atmosphere. And if you play bad, if you have a terrible round, you know, shoot in the 80s or shoot 75, whatever it is, next day you come back. You come back and you shoot 67, that might help you get on the podium or win as a team. And so, yeah, it's the coolest atmosphere I've ever been associated with. I'm looking forward to playing one day, but right now I'm looking forward to it. I want them to get on the podium, and I want to lift the trophy.
I'm looking forward to Bubba playing, too.
They can have all the money. I already told them I'm taking the trophy home. They win it.
You're going to have the trophy.
Hey, we have time for one more. Oh.
There was somebody in the very back. Sorry, you can't see him. All the cameras are in his way.
All right, Steve Hamlin, NBC Sports Boston. Bubba, you talked about the competition aspect of it.
He's been raising his hand for a while. He's tired. He's like.
You talked about the competition aspect, and obviously you guys have some of the top players in the world here on LIV now. PGA Tour still has plenty of their guys. Would you ever envision a scenario where you'd like to see more opportunities for, you know, maybe the tours come to some sort of compromise, détente down the road where you can actually get everybody and get all the best players in the world together? Because right now you kind of have this sort of fractured golf world.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what the whole thing is to working this all out. I mean, there's tours all around the world, and somehow, you know, it's okay for all these tours to operate, but when you come operate in the U.S., it makes it a little different. Gosh, I can think about Japan back in the day. All the greats from the game before I started playing would go to Japan and play because Japan had this amazing tour everybody wanted to be a part of. Same thing with Australia. I mean, those 3 Australian events were amazing events to go to. I went there in 2005, right before I became a rookie in 2006. And those were big, major events. And then with the FedEx going all year round, it's taken away from those other tours, those other big events. It's the perfect timing to go to Australia during the fall series of the PGA Tour. But with the new fall series, you can't do that. And so it's hurt those tours over there. So, yeah, I would love that there was a way to figure out a way to all of us work together or at least play LIV against PGA Tour. You know, that'd be another good
I was waiting for that.
Cup.
I think it'd be cool. I just want to compete. I want to win. And if the best players are there, that's where I want to be.
Just Julian Bember from the Boston. Thanks. Just 2 quick for Harold. One was you touched on this half joking kind of earlier that golf was like an expensive game, right? And then they asked you like, oh, man, this is like a money decision you made to come to LIV. But it's like you have this perspective where it's like, duh, like money matters. You know what I mean? It's not an easy game to play, get into, especially at a young age. How does that perspective of maybe not having as much as some other people who can get in the game kind of factor into your calculus when you started making that decision? And,
it factors a lot like that. Yeah, I just understand how hard it is, and I'm going to make it easier for a lot of other people. That's it. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Like, I love this game, and, you know, just because you can play it well doesn't mean you can, like, just use it for whatever's important for you. I think you can learn so much from the game, whether you make it on any tour or you just get to, you know, think about all the jobs where people are like, oh, I'm playing this tournament, playing here, I'm playing there. You know, just think about all the avenues where golf can take you, who you can meet. That's where it's at. Like, so I'm going to change that in my community for sure.
I got some on that too. It's you know, the professional golf grows the game a little bit, right? It's the volunteers, it's the club pros, it's the people with foundations that put into the community, their community where they live at. And that's how you're going to see guys, women, men play golf from different backgrounds. And when I grew up, the only reason I played is because these tournaments were free. My parents couldn't afford it either. I had clubs given to me at 6 years old, and I kept working, kept grinding in my yard. My parents got me in tournaments because it was free. So without foundations or people or sponsors, but that's where you're going to grow the game. The local community grows the game the most. And when you're put time and effort into that from the volunteers, from the organizations, from sponsors, that's where you're going to see the growth of the game come. And that's obviously what he's doing. Knowing him over the last 5 or 6 years, seeing where his passion is, that's what he's definitely about.
Last one over here.
No, not at all. I can play at whatever I want to play in. Obviously, there's other organizations that say I can't play. But yeah, I mean, how would I not want to play at Travelers and be a part of that? My family, it's near and dear to my heart. My dad, that was the only tournament my dad watched me win. Passed away 3 months later in 2010. Gosh, the hole-in-wall game camp, been there. They sang songs to me in the lunchroom. So yeah, how would you not want to keep representing that community up there and what they're doing off the course? Travelers has done so much off the course and then on the course as well. But yeah, I mean, LIV is not holding me back from playing any tournament. You know, it's other organizations that say stuff. I resigned because we looked at it. We looked at the resign because I would help other people. There's people that, roughly four guys that helped out getting to the Korn Ferry Tour, or Korn Ferry Tour finals, I think. One guy got a full status on the PGA Tour because I resigned. You know, there's a lot of guys that got into FedEx because because people resigned or got off the tour or got suspended. So yeah, we did help out that way. Obviously, I want to play the PGA Tour. How would I not want to play the PGA Tour as well as LIV because of the team aspect? But yeah, I resigned because I got to babysit 4 guys this week, and I got to try to make some sandwiches. But also, when you talk about now let's go into the franchises. I mean, the captaincy. There's licensees, branding. There's charity dollars. There's the charity side. There's the business side. I mean, there's so much stuff going into it that my brain capacity, I needed to resign from the tour so I could spend so much time on growing the game, growing LIV, growing the team aspect that I think we're all missing in professional golf. Like I said, high school has team, college has team, and then professional golf didn't have team. So now it does. And so I think it's going to be a great thing for going forward.
Real quick, Joy, I got to get these guys out of here.
Yeah, we got to go practice.
Okay. One question to both of you, actually, and especially Harold, because you are the winner of the inaugural event of the Asian Tour. Just wanted to know your thoughts on how you particularly felt about the whole week over there in Saudi, and you both, any plans of playing maybe tournaments in Asia, because you guys can play over there, and the international series events.
I know for sure I'll be back to defend. That is for sure. Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't really thought much about it, but I know I'll be back. I don't know when the tournament is, but I'll be there. I don't know.
I circled that on my calendar.
I'm going to beat Bubba again for sure.
That's where I'm coming back.
Any other tournaments in Asia, Harold?
He doesn't know where he's even going today, man. I'm going to be dead honest.
That is true, though. I don't.
He really doesn't.
I just know I'm sweating so badly. Like, I don't know if they have AC up here in Boston, but man.
But yeah, no, he doesn't know the schedules. But yeah, we're all gonna think about playing places, because if you play in Asia, you get world ranking points, which is sad that you have to go and do other things to get world ranking points so you can get in majors. Like I said before, like the world ranking, these are the best players in the world. Number 2 in the world, who's going to fall off the map so that's not the best players in the world if you're going to count these players out.
But is he really going to fall off the map? He just won a major.
He will at some point. He will at some point, and that's sad because obviously we know how good
I win a
he
major, I'd just be like, all right, enjoy it.
Well, you're not going to play any majors. They keep dropping you.
I know. Well, I know, but it'll be all right. We'll live. A lot of kids' lives will change.
You said live.
A lot of kids' lives will change. I guarantee
I'm
that.
with you, man. I'm with you.
Bubba, Harold, thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
LIV. If you guys
Thank
can just
y'all.
stay up for photos real quick. Harold, wait, come on.
Man, you got to take a photo, man. Dang.
Guys, we have another press conference in 20 minutes. We've got Joaquin Neiman, Cameron Tringali, and Anna Brown Lahiri. So we'll be back.
Hey, man, nice to see you, man. Good to see you.
Bubba Watson was then seen at the LIV Golf Boston welcome party socializing with some of his fellow players. So when you start to put all of this together, meniscus preservation surgery, and some fans catching up with him while walking the course at the LIV Golf Boston event, it all starts to make sense as to why Bubba Watson has left the PGA Tour, joined LIV Golf, but not yet actually playing, and is named a non-playing captain to the Niblicks franchise within the LIV Golf community. Bubba casually chatted with some fans at the LIV Golf Boston event.
End of October will be start hit ball. Yeah. But like today, I'll probably hit some 20, 30 yard chip shots just to
And most recently at the 2022 LIV Golf Team Championship event, specifically the Captain's Selection Press Conference, Bubba Watson is on stage with all of his other captain counterparts, making some selections as to how the event is going to go down, as well as making some jabs at one another throughout. It was pretty funny to see. Here's a look at that.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our LIV Golf Team Championship Miami Selection Show and Press Conference. My name is Sue-Ann Heng. I'll be your host this morning. Welcome, everybody. Yes, everyone's amped up on coffee. I love it. All right. We have an amazing weekend ahead as we will award the very first ever team champion in LIV Golf history. Now, this tournament will be a little bit different than the previous 7 events, as this is a straight team tournament consisting of all 12 teams competing. So here's how it's going to work, okay? The 12 teams were ranked based on how they did in the previous 7 events. And the top 4 teams have a bye, and those teams are the number 1 seed, 4 Aces GC, number 2 seed, Crushes GC, number 3 seed, Fireballs, and number 4 seed, Stinger GC. Now, that leaves us with 8 teams left to play on Friday, head-to-head with 4 teams advancing to Saturday. So each matchup on Friday consists of 3 matches, 2 singles matches, and 1 foursome match. Each match consists of 1 point, so if you win 2 points, you advance to the next stage. Captains must play each other. There's no choices there, okay, in a singles match, so that will always be one of the singles matches lineup. Pretty straightforward. So now one of the caveats is that the captains up here joining me at this table will get to choose which team they want to play. So the highest seed gets to pick first, and then the next highest seed will pick the following. So with Smash GC finishing as the 5th seed thanks to their performance in Jeddah, they will get to pick their opponent first. So before we turn it over to Brooks to choose who he will play, let's introduce all 8 captains joining us this morning, starting with your Smash GC captain, Brooks Koepka. Next up is your Majestics GC captain, Ian Poulter. Then you have Torque GC captain, Joaquin Neiman. High Flyers GC captain, Phil Mickelson. Ironheads GC, Kevin Na. Cleeks GC, Martin Keimer. Punch GC captain, Cameron Smith. And Niblicks GC, Bubba Watson. Okay, so let's begin and find out which teams will face off against each other on Friday afternoon. Let's get these things kicked off and started. We're going to start with Well, Smash GC, Brooks Koepka. Brooks, who did you choose to play the quarterfinals with?
Whoa. Can we just clarify that he doesn't have to pick from the last 4? He can pick from all 7
Absolutely.
teams.
He can pick anybody he wants to play with,
So
including
if you
yourself,
wanted
Phil.
a rematch of like the 21 PGA, like you could pick our team and we could play each other. I'm just clarifying the rules because I don't know if everybody understands that. Go ahead, Brooks, with your pick.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll continue.
That's something to consider, Brooks.
But if you want to play, we can play. But I would bring those. I don't know. You probably don't know this because you've never been #1 in the world.
Ooh.
That's true. That's true.
When they finish at the end of the year, they give you a little trophy.
Gloves
so
are
I've got
off.
2 of those, so I could bring one of them to show you if you'd like.
That's a beautiful green shirt. Do you have a green jacket?
I do not. I will, though. Don't worry. I will. But anyways, we did not choose Phil's team. But we chose the Niblicks.
Ooh.
What?
I got a green jacket, Phil.
Same thing.
I got one.
I'm just picking on the lefties today.
Brooks, I do have to ask you, why did you select Niblicks? Come on.
Yeah, let's hear
Give
it.
us your best
Let's
shot.
hear it.
Go on.
I just thought they matched up better. Bubba's been calling me the wrong name all year, Bruce. So I felt like it was a good opportunity to get back at him. He's done a terrible job
I'm not
commentating.
worried. You might have more injuries than me.
Hey,
You are
Bubba,
getting
tell me what
older.
you're
You are
thinking
getting-
right now,
I am
Bubba.
getting old. Sorry.
Tell me what you're thinking. Now, you're the first team to get picked. I don't know what they're insinuating here, but yeah, tell us what you're thinking.
Well, Harold told me he's definitely getting a point against Bruce, so.
You did yesterday.
Oh, now you're getting worried.
All right, so there you go. That's your very first matchup. Smash versus Niblicks. All right, next up is Majestics GC. Now with Smash and Niblicks off the board, new captain, Ian Poulter. Who do you have?
We chose Ironheads.
Ironheads. All right, Kevin.
Yes.
All right, Ian, first of all, why did you pick them?
Well, I figured, Kevin and I hit it really short, and we could just hold hands down every fairway. So, if I pick one of the other boys, they're going to be 50 yards in front. It's going to be a pretty miserable day. So, Kevin and I can, reminisce and hold hands and, just get along real nice.
Hey, Kevin, I'm sure you know of Ian's track record with his singles matches.
Uh-huh.
How
Well, I
do you
heard
feel?
he's the captain this week because nobody wanted to play the foursome with him.
Oh.
And, their team average age is like in the 50s, where I got some young guns, and I think we're all right.
All right, so there you go. Majestics GC versus Ironheads. That's going to be good. Okay, next up, Torque GC. Waco. Who are you selecting?
I have the clicks.
Oh, Cleeks. Okay, well, Torque GC versus Cleeks. I have to ask you, why did you choose the Cleeks? Are you comfortable in your matchup versus Martin Keimer?
So I didn't want to pick the punch. not yet.
That's a good answer.
I mean, they didn't give me more choices.
Yeah, you didn't have much choice, did you?
a
Yeah,
good
well, anyways, Martin, you obviously know you're playing with Waco. How do you feel about the matchup and the fact that Waco actually chose to play with your team?
Yeah, it's a little bit disrespectful, but that's how it goes here, I guess. Obviously, yeah, he had a very good year. On the last few years, he's playing solid golf. But I think, my experience maybe will help me the next few days, especially Friday morning. I have a very good team. They're in good form, so your mistake, I guess. But we find out when
We'll see.
Friday afternoon.
We'll see.
Ooh, okay. Right, well, that leaves us with 2 teams, and this is going to be a very, very intriguing lineup. High Flyers versus Punch
Yeah,
GC.
this sucks, right? I mean,
There's no way around
I don't really like the way this all worked out.
Right, so you obviously did not have a choice.
Look at Cam smile. Like, look how happy he is. Hey, Judge, cheer up. No. So this didn't really work out the way we had planned at all.
Well, Cam,
never
you're
heard
going to
him
play
speechless.
up against a player who's obviously a veteran in team play. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good.
Yeah.
We're looking pretty solid, I think. The way Phil hits his driver around here, I think he'll be dropping a few balls out there.
Ooh, Phil, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, the guy's the champion golfer of the year. There's not much I can say. But I have won here. Just saying. Have you even played here at Doral? I mean, I've won here at Doral. I don't know if you've...
20 years ago.
You know,
I was
although
two,
it's been a while.
I was 2 when Phil won around here.
Oh boy, this is
Yeah.
going to be good. I hope you guys are mic'd up.
I think
on
you were at
Friday.
that clinic that I gave. You know, it's nice to see you were paying attention.
Alrighty, so that's your 4 matches for Friday. Let's recap that. Smash GC versus Niblicks. You got Majestics GC versus Ironheads GC. Torque GC versus Cleeks GC. And then High Flyers versus Punch GC. Phil's giving me a look. He's not happy. Is not. Hey, I didn't pick it, all right? Okay, so we know the team matchups. It's now time to reveal the players that will be competing against each other. So this is the first time this is disclosed, as captains actually do not even know who the other captains have selected to play individual match play or the foursomes match. There's some great storylines here. And as a reminder, all captains will play each other in an individual match play. So it is time to reveal the individual matches. Here we go. So kicking off with Smash versus Niblicks. Of course, we know Brooks Koepka is going to play Harold Varner the third. All right.
The mic. Hey, so
there's going to be some serious trash talk in that group.
everyone in here knows that, you know, obviously Brooks kicked my ass in WGC, PGA Championship. So it's
Everything.
It's a new day. This is a different tour. I got
He's
a new
beat you in
chance.
everything.
What?
He's beat you in everything.
We've only played golf. We you know,
So-
like, we haven't hung out on that level. But I
We need
appreciate
you to.
You have such a
we
good
need
captain.
you to get healthy is what we need. But let's just leave that right there. Yeah, so super excited, but yeah, it'll be fun.
All right, so let's see what the other matchups are for Smash and Niblicks. Moving along, singles match, Peter Uline versus James Piot, or as Bubba would say, Piot.
Piot.
And foursomes, you have Jason Kokrak and Chase Koepka versus Turk Pettit and Hudson Swafford. So, Brooks, I'm going to kick it off with you. How do you feel about Peter versus James? I know Peter's a good friend of yours.
Listen, Pete's playing really, really solid golf. I don't know. I'm just excited to see it. You know, hopefully, you know, he goes out and does his thing, does what he's been doing, and you know, we'll see how it goes.
Are you going to give Bubba a little something to talk about on the commentary side, or?
No, if you look at it, they're both playing really well right now, coming off the last couple of weeks. This golf course is two different golf games, both of those players. This golf course is all about chipping and putting. You got to get the ball in the hole. And so long hitter does have an advantage if he can hit the fairways. In Poulter style, shorter hitter can help too if you hit the fairways, you know. So it'll be a fun matchup, that group.
Now, how did you come with Turk and Hudson together instead of having Turk and maybe James, or switching things up?
Sorry, say that again.
How did you get that pairing, Turk and Hudson, instead of maybe James and Turk being together? They're like best of friends. They're young.
Well, I'm going to be dead honest. James said he wanted to play. He did say Dustin. I said, we're dead last, man. We don't play Dustin ever. So I said Peter's just as good. We'll take Peter. So he said he wanted to be out there and be in front. He wanted to get a point for the team, and the other two guys said they would love to play together. So it just fell in place that way. But James is the one that sometimes he's louder than Harold in the team room. So it's interesting to see that conversation with those two yelling back and forth. I
Well,
know. I'm
James.
just trying to build him up, man.
How do you feel about the lineup against Peter?
Against Peter?
Mm.
I'm looking forward to it. You know, great player. I'm not like Harold. I don't talk as much smack. What? What do you want me to say? What are they? Bigger they are, the harder they fall. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to have a good match. He's a heck of a player.
Okay, game on. All right. All right, let's move along to our next matchup. We've got Majestics versus Ironheads, captain singles between Ian Poulter and Kevin Na. Let's take a look at the other matchup, shall we? Now, the other singles match is Lee Westwood versus Si-Hwan Kim. And for the foursomes, you got the pair of Sam Horsfield and Henrik Stenson versus Sadam Kaukanjana and Pachara Kongwat Mai, your tie duel. Now, Ian, let's walk us through kind of your decision. First of all, the whole swap with the captaincy. What was that all about?
Nobody wanted to play foursome with him.
No one wanted to play foursomes with me, so it was really simple. I was going to lead off, and you know, we've got a blended team. It's easy for us to be able to switch around, unlike some of the other teams. We took that opportunity to do so. I'd love to lead the team out like I've done in the past, and yeah, we're looking forward to it.
All right. Now, Kevin, Si-Juan got the second singles slot.
Yeah.
Was this because you didn't want to split the Thai boys, or because,
Well,
you know, Sadam and Pachara have quite different games?
Yes, I think I put the two Thai boys together because they had two opposite games, and I think, you know, Pachara being a bomber and Sadam being a straight ball hitter, I thought they were a good mix, and, you know, them being comfortable speaking the same language, even though they both do speak English. And then Si-Juan, I had a feeling that Lee Westwood was going to be playing against the next guy who I put in the singles. You know, Lee's an amazing player. He's playing great. But Si-Juan's a great bomber. He's been playing well. He finished third at Thailand. You know, we all know Lee's going to be on crutches. He's getting old. He needs a cane out there. So I think Si-Juan's going to have an extra cane in the bag and just kind of hand it over to him on the first tee and, you know, start a little mind game. You know, me and Pulse are going to be...
My old man's been world #1 too.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah. My boy is not world #1, but he's Asia #1. So, I mean, it's not quite as good as world #1, but he's still #1 somewhere. You know, Ian and I are going to be hitting a lot of woods in. I think a lot of hybrids and 5 woods, and we'll be able to see what...
I don't carry hybrids, Kevin. I have a 3.
Well, he's got a 7 wood and a 9 wood, so...
Have you hit the
we'll be
3-iron,
fine.
or is it still brand new?
Ian, are you going to walk some putts in, or what?
Well, listen, you're talking about Kevin now walking putts in, right? So we'll see who gets the first one to go.
Hopefully he doesn't ask them to replay and see if I touch the ball before it went in the hole.
I mean, listen, it could take him a while to walk a few in. It normally does.
We'll let that one stew for a little bit. All right. Si-Juan.
Slugger, can I play slower on purpose?
I do want to ask you this.
I'm not sure it's possible to play any slower, Kev.
Si-Juan, how do you feel about this lineup, playing against Lee Westwood, someone who's obviously very experienced?
I feel pretty good. Haven't played with Lee at all, I think. I might have, but...
You're not missing much, bro. It's all right.
I'm playing pretty well currently, so I think I could take him on. Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds good. All right, let's move along. Next up, we have Torg versus Cleeks with Joaquin Neiman, Martin Keimer facing off. Let's see what the other matchups are. All right. The other singles match will be Jed Morgan versus Laurie Cantor. And your foursomes match is the pair of Scott Vinson and Adrian Oteigi versus Graham McDowell and Richard Bland. Here we go. Wako, you're first. Walk us through your decision of Jed playing in the singles slot, knowing that, you know, Adrian just came off a win.
Mm-hmm.
What was that whole decision process like for you?
Yeah, I think in a course like the one we're playing this week, I think it's a really long course, and Jed he hits it pretty far. So I think it's gonna fit really well for him on the singles. And then Scott and Adrian, they are pretty similar players. I think they're both really consistent. So yeah, it was a really easy decision.
All right. Well, Martin, over to you. So Laurie's going to take the singles. How did you come up with the pairing of Graham McDowell and Richard Bland?
Well, we talked a lot in Bangkok and in Jeddah about who wants to play with who, and G-Mac and Blandy, they were pretty much, we all thought that this is probably the best matchup. I'm a little bit surprised that Adrian is not playing his singles, because he's playing obviously very good golf. He won a couple of weeks ago. That's your first mistake made already. So Laurie is a strong player. Laurie is very long on that golf course. I think he can perform well. G-Mac and Blandy, they have very similar games. I like the lineup. I think it will be a good match on Friday.
Yeah, I will start pretty good the match though.
I thought that was the second mistake. I thought the first mistake was picking you. So
No, I like Joachim. You know, I like spending a couple hours with him, but that's a mistake in the singles. You know, Adrian would be my pick, but it's okay. We'll see.
Okay, so let's take it over here to Graham. All right, well, how do you feel about your pairing here?
Yeah, I mean, I think we like the matchup a lot. You know, captains against captains is always going to be a great match. A lot of great players on the stage, and you know, from a foursomes point of view, there's two schools of thought. I guess you can go with opposite games or kind of similar games, and Blondie and I have you know, pretty similar games. Feel very comfortable with each other, and you know, I think we like the matchup against Scotty and Adrian quite a lot. I mean, Adrian coming off a great win a couple of weeks ago in Valderrama. These greens aren't very slopey though, Adrian. Sorry about that, but. And Scotty Vincent, you know, if it gets windy out there, that hair is going to be a problem. But no, listen, we're excited. This format is so much fun, and no, we really like this matchup.
Adrian, congratulations on your win, by the way. How do you feel about this lineup not being in the singles match and playing foursomes instead? What are your thoughts?
See, I open up something here. Even you mentioned it now. It's a mistake.
Obviously, there were a few different possibilities for everybody to play singles or doubles. I think I'm very happy with my captain's pick. I think Joaquin took the right decision, and I'm really looking forward to go for it. This looks like the United Nations against Europe, by the way.
Okay, last but not least, an absolute thrilling singles matchup. This is High Flyers versus Punch. So it's Phil Mickelson and Cameron Smith. All right, let's see the other lineups, shall we? The other singles match will be Matthew Wolff versus Mark Leishman. And in your foursomes match, you got the pair of Bernd Wiesberger and Cameron Tringale versus Matt Jones and Wade Ormsby. Oh, this is going to be good. All right, so Phil, I'm going to go to you first. You obviously didn't have a choice on who you get to play. But walk us through how you think.
Yeah, from a team perspective, this was a pretty easy decision for us because Bernd and Cameron play a very similar game. They play a very similar golf ball, and they look at the golf course the same way. And so this is going to keep them in their same element, same strategy. Their caddies get along really well and are very close, and I think that it's going to kind of lead to a cohesiveness and like a game plan. So our alternate shot foursome team was pretty easy to set, especially when you look at Matt Wolff and how being one of the longest players on LIV, if not, well, Bryson's out here, but right behind Bryson, he's hitting the ball in places that we just don't see. And so he's got so much firepower that when he gets in a groove and he gets it going, we've seen throughout the LIV events that he shoots some scores on some very challenging courses, and this is one of them. His length allows him to see this golf course totally different in a much more aggressive frame of mind. And so I love his game for match play because he's going to be able to take advantage of a lot of the holes, make birdies, get at some of these pins despite the water, despite the challenges, because he'll be coming at it with a much shorter club. So I really like him in singles, and I really like Bernd and Cameron together and the cohesiveness that they provide. And then, you know, Cameron Smith and I, well, our match will be irrelevant is the game plan. Like, that's our plan. So,
you sound pretty confident.
but we are still going to play. I mean, we'll still play.
Are you going to be wearing shorts this week to intimidate Cameron with your calves, maybe?
But that's our very, well, there's no intimidating. He's the champion golfer of the year. Look, I mean, CGOTY, champion golfer of the year. He's got the claret jug. I think he was sipping out of it last night. I mean, that's a strong flex. Nothing that a calf can do to top that. Like, he's got the claret jug. That's the coolest moment to have that trophy for a year is really special. And I think that, but it's a great opportunity for me to be able to try to compete against the champion golfer of the year. I look forward to it. It'll be fun.
Cam's looking at his clock.
You done? Yeah, go ahead. I figured if I talked enough, he wouldn't be able to get anything in. Do we have to move on now? So go ahead. Take it away.
No, I actually have to ask Cam a question. So, Cam, how are you feeling about these lineups? First of all, you playing with Phil, but also how did you kind of pair up Matt Jones and Wade? and putting Mark in a singles match.
Yeah, I like that. I like that lineup. I think the boys, we all kind of gelled. We all kind of play the same type of game. Would have been happy with any foursomes match there, but Leash plays a different golf ball. That went into a lot of it. You know, Jonesy and Wade hit a lot of fairways out there, and that rough's pretty gnarly. I think even if you're coming in with a wedge or a 9-iron, it's pretty penal, especially with those water carries and those tucked pins. So, yeah, I like it. It's that's it.
Okay, well, Mark, shall we ask you a question, Mark? He brought his stash game this week. I love it. All the Aussies have it. You know, Wade has it. Matt,
Jonesy's
wow.
trying to grow
All
it.
right.
He's like me.
All of you have it. Mark, how do you feel about playing with Matthew?
Yeah, it's going to be good. Obviously, he's been playing well this year. Like Phil said, shot some great scores on tough golf courses. I decided to grow the mow out, just thought it might distract him a little bit. But no, it's going to be a good week. Hopefully, you know, like I said, good match up for both teams, and hopefully we can get off to a good start.
So there it is, everyone. Your 4 matchups in the quarterfinals of the LIV Golf Team Championships. We're in for a great day of competition on Friday. Thank you to all of our captains and all of our players who joined us today for this very first LIV Golf Team Championship Selection Show press conference. I will now turn it over to Jane, who will open it up for questions from the media. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, guys, we'll open it up. You can ask any questions to any captains or any of the players that are up here. We have the entire team from all 8 of these teams up here. I'll start with Mike, per usual.
Ian, sorry, Ian. Between you and Lee and Henrik, I think you have about 300 or so career matches in singles and doubles. How will that translate into this week? I didn't realize it was that many. I mean, I guess we are pretty old, but hopefully that lends itself to the experience side of things. You know, it's you know, we've always played well in team matchups. It's something we're pretty proud of. And as you say, look, 300 and something matches hopefully is a big thing for us, obviously, to get through this first round. And then one question for Phil. Obviously, you do have success here at Doral. Do you get to impart that knowledge to your other team? How much will you talk about that this week?
We'll talk a little bit about it. This golf course has a lot of holes that require a lot of demanding shots, but it sets up very differently with shot dispersion for a left-handed player and right-handed player. So a lot of holes I have to be a little bit more conservative on, where a right-hand player can be a little more aggressive. I mean, for example, the second shot into 18, right? The way it sits, if you're a right-handed player and you pull it a little bit, the second shot will go longer left, should still catch green. And as my shot dispersion is going to be short left if I come out of it. And so that second shot, I'll have to be a little bit more conservative, whereas a right-handed player can be more aggressive. There's a lot of holes on there that reverse, though, that allow me to be a little more aggressive. Second shot into 3. I'm going to take on that pin a little bit more than a right-handed player. So it sets up, the course sets up very differently because of the demandingness, the precision and how demanding it is. It requires some incredible ball striking, but there are times that you can take it on, times you can't, and it actually sets up quite different for a left-handed player as a right-handed player. So you'll see a different strategy for us.
Great. If you guys can raise your hand, and then please state the outlet that you're with and your name.
Hey guys, Teddy Fenton with Luckiest Golfers on Earth. Congratulations, this is a great event. Psyched for the matches. My question's for Phil. Cam made a comment about you dumping some in the water with your driver. Are you going to be using your new driver, the 2 Plus Callaway out here?
I do have it. I don't know if it'll be in the bag this week or not. It seems like there's there's holes actually where I want the extra distance of my regular driver, and then it seems like the yardage isn't quite working for that club. I either want to like go after one, or I want to pull back a little bit more to fit the wider part of the fairway. So although it's a club I anticipate using more in the future, I don't think it's going to be as advantageous this week.
Okay, thanks, Phil.
Hi, a question for Ian. This is Ian Carter, BBC.
Hey.
Hi, Ian. There was an interview with Rory McIlroy that's been published this week, in which he described you guys going to LIV in Ryder Cup terms as a betrayal. So I need to ask you what your reaction to that was.
A betrayal? I mean, we can still qualify for the team, as far as I'm aware. Unless we've been told we can't qualify, then, you know, I'm still, you know, ready to play as much as I possibly can and try and make that team.
I think the point he was making was that the very fact that you may have jeopardized a Ryder Cup future, and likewise for Ian and Henrik and Graham, I don't know if they'd be prepared to comment, but...
Yeah, I mean, look, my commitment to the Ryder Cup, I think, goes before me. I don't think that should ever come in question. You know, I've always wanted to play Ryder Cups and played with as much passion as anyone else that I've ever seen play a Ryder Cup. So, you know, I don't know where that comment's really come from, to be honest. So,
I don't know if Lee or Henrik have anything to say on it.
Evan Priest from Golf Digest. Just got a question for Cam. What exactly about playing against Phil Mickelson are you looking forward to on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a gimme match. I think Phil's kind of playing it up a little bit there. Phil's still playing some pretty good golf. I think he's probably beat me the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good match. We actually played together in Bangkok. Phil played well. He still does all right for an old fella.
And just to follow up, Phil, you seem cautious to maybe not sledge or intimidate Cam too much. Is there a reason behind that? Do you not want to sort of wake the snake?
No, I love the way he plays. I love the way he swings the club. I love the way he hits it. His short game is remarkable. I love the way he rolls it. But it's not just that he makes putts. It's how he does it. Like if you watch, he's looking at the hole all the time. He's getting out into the putt. If you watch him swing the club, it's got this beautiful rhythm. It looks like he's a swinger of the club rather than like a slasher or a hitter. I just love the way he plays. I enjoy watching him play and compete, and I'm actually going to really enjoy the opportunity to compete against him. But I think a lot of him as a player, and not just as a person, but how he plays the game, I really like.
James.
Hi, James Corrigan from The Telegraph. Sorry, it's another Rory McIlroy question for Phil. Phil, hi. A couple of weeks ago, you said you saw LIV trending upwards and PGA Tour trending downwards. I'm not sure if you saw, but Rory McIlroy came out and said that that's just propaganda on your behalf. And can you just speak to that?
Well, first of all, what a great win he had last week. Like, he played some great golf, and I think that it was an impressive victory. But just and maybe I shouldn't have said stuff like that. I don't know. But if I'm just looking at LIV Golf and where we are today to where we were 6-7 months ago, and people are saying this is dead in the water, and we're past that, and here we are today, a force in the game that's not going away, that has players of this caliber that are moving professional golf throughout the world, and the excitement level in the countries around the world of having some of the best players in the game of golf coming to their country and competing. It's pretty remarkable how far LIV Golf has come in the last 6-7 months. I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
one over here.
David Barnett with the Tour Junkies. I think this is probably best for Phil. DJ's team, the Four Aces, they're 2-1 right now to win this. But now you guys are able to use rangefinders, and given like DJ and Austin's track record with math, I'm curious if you see that as a value that people should jump on, or just any thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, those numbers can be very confusing, for them. And what the rangefinders does is it really helps me, because I don't have yardages on sprinklers from other fairways. And so when I get over there, like, I have much more committed swing because I know exactly how far it is. Otherwise, we're trying to like angle it, and it's just a lot of work to get yardages to one hole from 2 fairways, let alone 3. And lasers just give me that freedom. I mean, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that the first time lasers were ever allowed on the PGA Tour was the PGA Championship in 2021. I mean, look how that ended up. Like, it's no coincidence.
What happened?
No, we all know. Well, yeah, we all know.
Anyone else?
Just a question for Phil. This is Riyadh Al Samurai from the Daily Mail. It's another one on the Rory McIlroy interview in the Guardian today. He's spoken more generally about it and said this us versus them thing has gotten way out of control already, and sort of he's encouraging some level of kind of reconciliation, I suppose is not possibly the word, but I'm just wondering from your perspective what that needs to look like and how this whole situation moves forward.
I think a lot of Rory. I really have the utmost respect for him, and I look at what he's done in the game and how he's played this year and his win last week and #1 in the world now, and I have a ton of respect for him. And we'll have, as players here, 3 months off after this event to talk about things like that and so forth. But this week, we something's happening that I don't want to deflect focus on, which is we've never had a team event like this in professional golf. We've never had this type of match play opportunities where the number of matches, the number of players continue to stay the same Friday and Saturday, where there's enough interest and stuff going on for fans to come out and watch and be interested in television and what have you. And so we like normal match play, you have fewer and fewer matches and less interesting days as the week goes on. And so this week is something totally different. And I think I don't want to take away from that. We can talk about that, your questions afterwards, but this is a unique thing happening in professional golf, and it's pretty exciting. And to be on a historic course that held a tour event for longer than I think just about any other event, or was in the top 3 or 4 with the Catskills started back in the 60s, I believe, when they created this place. It's pretty special to have this monumental event take place on this site too. So I don't want to detract from what's happening this week.
Got another one over here.
Yanni Crocus, WPBF in West Palm. This is for you, Brooks. As a local South Florida guy, how nice is it to finish off your season relatively back home? And how much have you played this course, with the PGA leaving here a few years back? What kind of success or challenges have you had?
Yeah, I mean, it's super nice to be able to, drive an hour and 20 minutes down the road and be able to get here. I mean, I don't know how many guys I'd say in this field. There's probably 10 that live in Jupiter, so it's convenient. And I think a lot of us have just played it. If you've grown up in Florida playing junior golf tournaments or just playing it for fun, and then obviously, the PGA Tour was here for years. So played it quite a bit and feel comfortable. But like you said, it's nice to have family, friends, be able to come to an event when they don't get to see us play too much.
Another question for Ian and also for Phil. You've both figured very prominently in team events, Ryder Cups, President's Cups, and in your case, Phil, as well as the Ryder Cup. I just wonder, with this format and the way that it's going to be set out, how you guys are going to go about sort of harnessing the kind of juices that we've seen from you in those events in the past for this week coming up, and how you kind of are going to harness crowds and partisanship and that kind of thing that always goes with captivating team golf?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, it's a great golf course. You know, it lends itself, obviously, with the close to this course being pretty exciting. As the team matchups stand right now, you know, the matchups themselves are intriguing. To have this format of foursomes and obviously 2 singles matches, and then obviously we've got 4 scores to count on Sunday. You know, to pick a winner right now would be silly to try and do that. So, I think you know, I think it's gonna be an exciting Sunday. We need to get there first. So, you know, in terms of our team, we've been pretty excited to be part of this format first and foremost. I think we can deliver a lot in this format. I think we've got a strong team, and it's going to be a fun Sunday. And you know, whoever holds that trophy on Sunday night, I'm sure is going to be pretty happy, pretty pumped, and you know, we might even see a fist pump out of Lee Westwood. Maybe not.
Great. Anyone else?
Well, to answer, I don't have quick answers, but I'll try. There's some elements of those team events that can apply, that knowledge and experience can help, and there's some that simply don't. I mean, we don't have anybody sitting out, and we don't have the rich history and probably the pressure that those other events have, whereas this is really a fun event. Like, we're having a blast. So there's that, and nobody's sitting, everybody's playing, so we're working on strategy. I think what the one thing like experience has helped is trying to get similar games together for, let's say, foursomes or alternate shot, because in the past you're like, well, if we put a long hitter with a short hitter, like, that's going to give him a chance to do this and a chance to do that. Like, sometimes you overthink it, and sometimes I've found that the alternate shot teams play the best when they just kind of play a similar game, and so they don't have to look at things differently. They just play their game, they feel more comfortable, and they end up playing some of their best golf. And so those little things might help experience-wise when we've picked up little tidbits of knowledge over the years, but for the most part, there's a lot of things that don't really overlap.
Great. All right. Well, thank you, captains. Good luck. And we will see 4 of you back here on Friday with the top 4 seeds. So look forward to seeing you then. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Attaboy.
So there you have it. Bubba Watson, once ranked as high as number 2 in the world according to the official World Golf Rankings, joins LIV Golf, recovering from a torn meniscus or meniscus preservation surgery, and he's looking forward to getting back out there in the 2023 calendar year. Bubba Watson and Harold Varner III seem to have a really good rapport with one another. That doesn't seem like it was the case all throughout Bubba Watson's career. Seems as though there has been some trouble in the past when looking at the opinions of his peers on the PGA Tour. Will things be different at LIV Golf? It does seem like it's a much more laid-back and casual environment, and that could fare well for Bubba and his team. Irregardless, really neat to see another fellow left-handed golfer out on the course, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Bubba does in the calendar year 2023. And hey, what do you think about Bubba joining LIV Golf? What's your opinion? Would love to hear some constructive input. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Really appreciate it.